back to Two Guys in a Game Shop. My name's Phil.
I'm John.
And today we're going to talk about Merchant of Venus. Merchant of Venus is a trading game for up to 6 players.
Hold on a second. They have a new version of this one now.
What?
Yeah. Fantasy Flight made a new version of that classic game that includes the classic game as well as a new version with things working a little bit differently than the classic version. It plays 4 players and usually plays about 2 hours roughly.
Oh, okay. So we're going to talk about the new Merchant of Venus and explain the rules to the game and then give you our thoughts on this new take of Merchant of Venus. Here you see a display of all the components of Merchant of Venus. We've got the ships down here, each one or 4 for each of the 4 players that you can play. There's freighters, clippers, transports, and scouts. Each ship has a different speed and number of cargo holds. Here you've got basically hazards or artifacts that can be found. They are placed on the map at each of these locations, and as you fly your ship over them, you can discover those. These are demand tokens, and there are also passenger tokens. These are pulled out when you sell goods to add demand for more goods or to provide a passenger that wants to be transported from one place to the other. These are the culture cards that are placed on each system to start the game, and when a person lands on the planet, then you flip the culture card over to reveal a particular alien.
Up here also we have the culture tokens, so after you flip it, it'll place down so you can see which culture number it is and what kind of tech they have. Here as well the dice, which is necessary in the game. Shield tokens. There's the drive tokens. There's a red drive, a yellow drive, and if you flip them over, they have what's known as the combi drive also. There's the spaceport tokens as well as the factory tokens. The currency that's used in the games, it comes in 1s, 5s, there's 10s as well as 100s, 500s, and 1000s. The ships. Then there's also the regular goods tokens as well as the factory goods tokens.
So here you see a layout of the board, and we're going to kind of go over the general rules of the game. For your turn in this game, what you have to do is first decide which direction you are going to fly and point your ship in the proper direction. You then roll a number of dice equal to the speed of your ship. In this case, I'm in a freighter, and I would roll 2 dice. And those 2 dice, I choose one of the numbers, either a 5 or a 2, as my pilot number, and I would place that down there. Then I would move my ship a number of spaces equal to both of them, which is 7 spaces. Now, if I had enough, I could come up here, and on these green markers, that is a possible landing on the planet. It takes 2 movement to actually land on the planet. If I only had 1 movement left, I would have to continue my movement because I don't have enough to land. If I actually landed on the planet, I would discover this unknown alien race. And here you see it's the Zoom, which is number 9. So I would place the number 9 culture marker on there, and I would place all of the number 9 cargo tokens on there. And because I landed on the planet, I can only buy or sell 1 item on this turn. So I could buy 1 item and sell 1 item. I don't have any items to sell, so I could buy this item. In order to purchase it, it's going to cost $40 to purchase Chicle liquor. I've got 5 cargo holds on my freighter, So I could buy up to 5 goods if I have enough money, but not on the first turn. If I chose to stay here for a whole nother turn without moving, I could then do an unlimited number of buys or sells. So planets kind of slow you down a little bit, where you can only do it 1 and 1 the first turn, and then an unlimited number after that. So if I wanted to buy that, I would place that into my cargo holds. I would pay my 40, and that would be the end of my turn, and it would be the next person's turn to roll the dice.
So now I'll demonstrate with my ship, which is a scout, which has 3 dice. It's allowed to roll to see what happens and why your navigation dice is important. If I roll this, I need to set my navigation dice if I'm heading this direction for whatever way I need to go. So in this case, looking at this navigation, I need to decide beforehand if I'm going to set it at a 1, I'm going to be able to go this way, which then sets it at a 1, I'll be able to continue going through the next one this way. Now, if I set it at a 5, I'm going to have to go this way, and then I have to follow 5 this way. Whatever way you set it, you have to keep following through that way. If you would go backwards, like say I have managed to roll 3 2s, I'm going to hit this and I'm going to stop because I can never go backwards again. So, let's say we set it at a 5, we're going to head over here. I'm going to hit one of these tokens. So in this case, something randomly is going to happen in one of these, and you resolve that before you continue to move. Let's say, so I'll flip it over, and it's a shield. Now if I want to pick up the shield, I'm going to end my movement here, but I'll be able to get the shield. So in this case, I'd want to probably take the shield, because I'm going to get some free shields out of the deal. And then I'll have a shield on here. So, what the shield do is, any other hazards I may hit, like this 30, it's going to turn it to a 10 now, instead of a 30. So when you hit a hazard, you can pay usually the remainder to continue moving, but you got to pay it in money. Well, if I'm paying 30 a pop, all the way around here, I'm going to run out of money real quick. But with the shields, it only makes it 10 a pop. So it's much easier to navigate. Now, looking what I had, if I'd gone back this way and had hit this hazard instead, it was a 20. Now say I hadn't gone this way, I'd pay that 20 to be able to continue moving until I got over here. If I had gotten this hazard, this is a teleport gate, and with these ones I'm going to have to, if I had my pilot dice set at this, I'm going to teleport to a different gate after that. 6 goes to 6, say I had my pilot dice set at another teleport gate set out here, I'm going to automatically go through that, so that I can kind of mess with your plans a little bit. But once you explore them all, it can make it really easy to bounce from point A to point B all over the galaxy. Well, saying I ended up actually where I wanted to, which is right here. This is a space station, and it differs from landing on the planet's surface because when you go to a space station, you may make unlimited buys and sells on the first time that you actually go on it, which can really shorten things up a lot. So in this case, if I'd gone here, I have an item I could sell here. With selling, you have to, looking at the bottom of your tile, match what it is that's going to sell here. So I can sell to 4, 5, 6, or 7. This is number 4, so I'm allowed to sell my items here. So looking at that, I would want to, since I'm on a space station, I'm going to go ahead first turn and sell my items right out of the gate. Looking at this, I would sell my items for 80 apiece, so I'd receive $160 in money, adding that to my total. Now once I've sold my tiles, I need to pull out of the bag 2 tokens, and then I will place mine I've sold into the bag. Now once they're in the bag, what I pull out, it may be a demand token, which will make when someone sells on a different planet, like in this case the finest dust, is going to be worth 50 more credits when they sell it there on the first one. Or it could be a passenger token, which then we'll put this one, if we had number 3 out, we could put this one on number 3, or on the galactic base in this case, and he's going to number 3. And so you pick them up here, he'll pay you $150 if you take them to number 3. Pretty good deal. And they only take half a hold space. The last thing maybe there is, since the other goods go into the bag, it'll restock goods that have been sold throughout the game. Now, the other thing you can pick up is the Space Deed token. And so, for that, I purchased the spaceport. I'll get to take this deed token, and then I'm going to put down mine on the green space. And so now, when someone goes here, I'm going to get an extra commission whenever anyone buys or sells here in this place.
An additional thing you can buy at the various planets is you can buy factories. And when you buy a factory, you basically get to place a factory good. Now, factory goods are available at all the various planets, and what they are is a higher priced item that you can sell. So in this case, the base item, you buy it for $40 and you sell it for someplace at $90. But if you buy the factory good, you buy it for $140 and you sell it for $220. So you can earn a lot more money with your factory good compared to the base good. Additionally, another thing you can buy are drive systems. When you buy the drives, what they allow you to do, depending on the color of the drive, so if I have, for example, the red drive, when I am moving, I skip the red spaces. So if I started here, was heading this way, and I had a movement of, say, 8, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. And I'd still have more movement if I wanted to, but I just wanted to get here in order to pick up that passenger. But you can see the red drive lets me skip various red spots. If I happen to have this combi drive, then I would skip both reds and yellows. So only the greens and blues would actually count. So from here I would go 1, 2, 3, 4 out of my total of 8 movement. So you can actually cover quite a distance with a combi drive compared to no additional bonuses to your movement.
Now when you're at a planet also, you can also purchase tech. Now you'll have to look at what it says for what tech is available here for you to purchase. If you see this biotech, it means you can purchase shields here. You do not, at this one, you cannot sell or barter ship classes. On this one here, this is industry, and industry cultures sell the yellow drives, and they sell the transport and freighter ship classes, and will barter all ship types here. Now on the rocket here, this is the technology icon. Technology cultures sell red drives, and they sell the scout and clipper ship classes and barter all ship classes. Next is the metaphysics. Metaphysics cultures sell combo drives, but they do not sell or barter ship classes. And finally is primitive, and they don't sell equipment, nor do they sell or barter ship classes at all. So previously we're showing the classic version of the game. I'm going to show now the differences between the classic version and the new Fantasy Flight Reimagined game. It works a little differently. In the first one, you're playing to a set agreed upon monetary total to finish the game. And this one, it has a set number of turns. You play through turn 1 through turn 30, ultimately seeing who has the most money and at the end of the game. So it's handled a little different in the turns also. At the beginning of each of the first player turns, you have 2 different icons basically, and you're going to resolve these icons before anything else happens in that turn. So the first icon is a passenger icon. You will randomly draw a passenger and put them down on whatever system they're going to go to. And then if they haven't been resolved yet, you'll just put them to the side. When that system's then discovered, you'll put them down on that system at that time. The second is the drill icon. So there's a tech you can purchase when you go to one of the planets and purchase the drill tech. And once you have the drill tech, when you pass over asteroids, you can put a drill icon on here, and then you're going to collect income from drilling whenever we move the turn marker to the drill section. You'll then get rid of all your drill markers and then reset it until next time. So you have 2 turns to set up all your drill markers and then collect income from that if you have that tech. The other thing that's kind of different in this is before, instead of having face down tokens, we have an encounter deck for the encounter spaces here. And so you will flip over, read the card, and resolve the card and whatever it's going to have. It could be pirates, it could be finding tech, it could be intel. I mean, there's a lot of different things that can happen with these cards. The other thing that's kind of different on this map also is you start with 2 static teleport gates. Now, in the encounters deck, you may pull up more additional teleport gates and then be able to teleport from those ones to these static gates. So that's a little different. In the beginning of the game, you'll also have a mission card. And your mission card will have, say, like this one, Destination Interstellar Biosphere. The Interstellar Biosphere is right here. So if you head over here and you have a laser value of 4 or greater, while in the spaceport or surface city here, you will accomplish this mission, which means you'll get to draw a reward card. So if I accomplish that, I get a free sample. When purchasing a racial technology, I may discard this card, reduce the cost of that racial technology to 0. So I'm getting something kind of for free for kind of going about my business and whatnot. As soon as I use one of these cards up, I get to draw another card to replace it. I get my reward and a new card, so I have a new mission now. So you keep doing that throughout the game. So some more differences is instead of demand tokens altering the cost of goods of what you can get when you sell it, or the price you'll get paid, is you have different a rotating sliding scale kind of here. So when I sell here right now, I would get more money since I have an up arrow here than I normally would anywhere else. So in the back of your goods token, I would get 330 instead of the normal 30. Now, once I sell here, I will rotate to the next one. So the next player gets the next one here. Now, let's say I sold one good, but then I wanted to wait a turn and then sell another good after that. Now I'm selling on this one. It will move. As soon as I sell and the turn ends, it's going to rotate over after that. So there's a down, so you'll get the smaller price. And then there's also the gear, which just means that you'll get the medium price. In the beginning of the game, you're going to pick a race. There's 4 different races. And in this case, let's say I have the humans. What I'm going to do then is I start with the level 0 pilot, and I will have a piloting skill of 3. So that corresponds when I come across one of these. I will need to roll a piloting skill. If my piloting skill is 3, if I roll less than my piloting skill, I can continue to move. Let's say I roll a 6, I have to stop there. I can't move any further this turn. But had I rolled a 2 or a 1, I could have continued movement as normal. Now you can upgrade your pilots and keep them going. There's 4 different phases. You have the beginning phase. And if I go to the human system, wherever they're going to be at, I can upgrade my pilot level. So, by paying 60 credits. Once I get the next level, it's going to increase my piloting skill. And then after that, I can have an increased pilot skill, and it starts giving me more bonuses depending on which pilot race that I have. Now lastly, the difference in here also is this is your ship. And how the ship works is over here you have certain techs you can purchase, and you can only have 3 of those different kinds of techs over here. Other kinds of techs that aren't that specific type you'll be able to have over here. Now also, this is for your pilot dice. Down here is a tech you can get that will let you roll an additional dice if you set your pilot dice for a 1. Here's your cargo hold, and you can upgrade your cargo holds also to hold more cargoes. So you can kind of do a lot of customization on your ship. Of course, where your drive's going to be at, and other techs that you may be able to get. Now, one thing that works differently here also is that you have a different dial system here. So you will have a laser dial and a shield dial. Now these will correspond when you have a random encounter you may pull out of the deck. If you're facing pirates or something like that, or it's just asking for a kind of check for it. Laser checks are this icon, and then the shield checks are this icon. Now if I was going to make a laser check here, I have a 3 set on my laser. If I rolled into the laser system here, I rolled a 1, I'll be able to continue going, because as long as I am less than my current number, then I continue. If I'm equal to or greater than, I must stop. Now, let's say I had rolled greater than on this, and I rolled a 4, I am allowed to, if I want to continue to move, is burn 1 off, and continue to move after that, if I want to. But it can really start costing you if you do that. The shields work the same way, and you can also burn them to continue movement also.
So that's an overview of Merchant of Venus, the new Fantasy Flight game. Basically, it covers the same aspects as this old version that I got from Avalon Hill, and I gotta tell you, this game, in my opinion, is very fun. There's a dose of exploration as you move around to the planets and figure out where the aliens are, figure out what goods they have and where you can sell them. Great amount of variety when you set up the game and as you're exploring. But then you've got that you gotta hurry and buy the goods and sell them, hopefully where there's demands, so that you can earn the most money. Because in the classic version of the game, the version like this and the first version that we showed you, it's first person to $2,000 or $1,000 for a short game or $3,000 for a long game. In the new game, it's what, 30 turns?
30 turns, yeah.
And whoever's got the most money after 30 turns is the winner.
I kind of like the sliding scale, because you can actually play this game in a short amount of time if you're kind of strapped for time, or you can play a super long game. Kind of took it back when I told him I played a $5,000 game, but it was because my wife's like, we have nothing to do, and we can play a $5,000 game if we really want to today. Well, it's neat. Phil actually taught me this game, and my wife came over and played with him and his wife, and it's a very daunting game in the beginning. There's a lot of pieces, there's a lot of stuff going on, but actually once you get the gameplay down, it is actually super easy to play and understand everything kind of going on.
Yeah, it looks like a lot because of the sheer amount of pieces that are involved in the game. I mean, all the goods and the technology and the ships and everything. It can be a little bit overwhelming, but really it's simple in its mechanics. It's basically choose which direction you're going to go, roll the dice, move that number of spots.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
The buying and selling, I mean, if you play any kind of finance game from like Monopoly on up from that, I mean, pretty straightforward. You're buying stuff, selling stuff. You need to follow the rules of buying and selling, and once you do that, it's like a snap. So it was nice also because actually this is one that we played, and even after one game I was like, we're getting that game. She enjoyed it so much, and so I think that one actually says a lot about this game, because there's not many games that she wants to pick up right out of the gate.
Yeah, this game here, this is my wife's favorite game ever, and she's a wordsmith, so she's always loved Scrabble and Upwards and all those word games. I got her to play this. I haven't been able to stop getting her to play this because she just loves this game so much, and it's that combination of exploration and money management. You know, being able to find the proper trade routes, make that great purchase. You know, get the right tech so you can do the purchases faster, and
that's one neat thing about the game, is how the game switches so much from the beginning of the game to the end of the game.
Right.
in the beginning, it's a real exploration. We're getting out there, exploring new worlds. At the end of the game, we've explored the entire galaxy, and now we are really concerned about making money in this galaxy. And so that part's really neat, because a lot of games like wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. And it's like, well, this one, it's like, all right, some wash, and then some rinse, and then some repeat. So, it's kind of neat how that all works and whatnot.
And depending on what level of money you're playing to in the classic version, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, or even up to 5,000, will really depend on what you can include in the game. You can start buying spaceports with the higher amounts. You can start buying the factory deeds with the higher dollar amounts, because that stuff starts having a bigger play in the game. Versus if you're just playing to 1,000, you're like, you don't want to spend time buying ports or buying deeds or anything like that. Yeah, it's just quick, make your money, and be the first one to 1,000 to win. But when you're playing to 3,000, you're like, well, I want to get that factory deed, because selling one factory deed can get you $300, $400, and it makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, big time. One thing to mention also is, in this game, this is the current version you can purchase places. They have those two versions, and I've only played the newer version once. I did enjoy it when I played it. My jury's still on which one I actually prefer more. Right now I'm going to say classic, because I played that one a whole lot, and honestly I had to learn the new version so we could show it here tonight on our film. So but once I did play it and everything, I was like, well, this has some good things and whatnot. So I'm going to continue to play it. My jury's still on which version I think is better. Honestly, I think if you pick up the game, if you have both anyway, you might as well enjoy them both. So.
Yeah, I give Fantasy Flight credit for including both the classical version as well as their new version. Big kudos to them for that. I'm a huge fan of the classic version. It's what I own, obviously. I don't have the option of playing the new version, but this offers so much replay potential. That's why I still have this game, is because of the sheer amount of replay potential in the game. And so I think it's good on Fantasy Flight for including both versions of the game.
Yeah. The one thing I'm not crazy about that Fantasy Flight did, so the retail on this game is usually about $80, $79.95, $79.99, depending on where you go. There is no sorter that comes in this game. I had to purchase my own sorter. There are so many pieces that a sorter is really necessary in this game.
This game needs a sorter, or at least bags.
Yeah, or at least bags. I didn't feel they included enough bags. I think I got like 4 or 5 bags in my copy. That is not enough with how many different pieces are in this game to properly do this game. So if someone's watching out there would like to fix that in the future, that'd be a good idea. It's an $80 game. I don't think a $2 plastic sorter is too much to ask for. So, just a pet peeve.
But anyway, hope you enjoyed our overview of Merchant of Venus. If you're interested in a merchant trading game with a heavy dose of exploration and an even greater dose of replayability, this is the game that you actually want to go out and buy. Fun game.
For sure.
Thanks for watching.